these notes, and I refer to them every week when I go back to look at the minutes. I think it's duplicative, but it's not. We begin our sessions with public comment. We have 2 people with us in the room. Do we have anyone on?
Just Jordan.
Just Jordan. Hi, Jordan. Okay. Bill.
Dina and I had a very productive meeting late last week, looking over both the trust funds and the vehicle and heavy equipment capital reserve funds. We're in budget time, so I had a couple of thoughts to share. One is, it looks like we are being so tight on the trust funds that we're having to purchase vehicles over time with interest payments.
Mm-hmm.
And those interest payments could amount to up to $40,000 a year.
Okay. That's if we purchase
I'm shaking my head because, right.
on schedule all of the vehicles. Okay.
Right, and Dina has the exact figure.
Or if you decide to make payments over time, if you don't, then.
Right,
Yeah.
readjust.
Okay.
I'm just wanting to bring up that interest payment and the tax anticipation note interest payment amount to significant chunks of change for the community.
Yes.
Second thing, I had a chance to talk with Mary Layton, who is the chair of the select board over in Norwich, and she just wanted to mention that they do vehicles over 5 years, particularly police cars rather than 6, and finds that works out better in terms of wear and tear and things falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to suggest that we think about putting more into the vehicle capital reserve and the heavy equipment capital reserve funds for this coming year, so that the trust funds will be adequately supplied and then be able to do what they're supposed to do for the town.
And do you have a suggestion of the amounts?
Very preliminarily, I would like to see 300,000 in the vehicle capital reserve fund as opposed to the 250 that we put in last year. And Dina, what did we mention about the heavy equipment fund? I'm not remembering.
100.
So, yeah,
So 400,000 into just those 2 funds.
and I know that that's a leap, but it also puts us into the position where when we go to, buy highway vehicles, we're not having to pay, likely to not have to pay interest on them.
Welcome.
And that's choices up to you folks.
Yeah, and we did, I think that you probably had history, I'm sure that Dina would have told you, but the couple of years when we paid or went with the financing, it was actually to our benefit to finance rather than put that money all out there.
Yeah.
But it,
I wasn't
the
part of
interest
those
rates,
financial
no.
decisions.
but the interest rates were very different,
Yeah,
so.
that's why I still have a mortgage.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, that's very helpful. Rich, have you a comment?
I'm here to listen today.
Oh, very good. Hello.
Hi, I'm Nora Palmer Gould. I'm here because of the item on your agenda about the waiving the cost of use of the academy building for a free balance class for the elderly in Lyme.
Okay, thank you. We
You're
will get to
welcome.
that shortly.
Yes.
It's on about, somewhere on the list. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
And do we have anyone, still no one on the Zoom? Okay, other than Jordan. Very good.
Right.
So, next on our list is the review and approval of the September 30th public meeting minutes. What do we wish to do with those?
I'll move them.
Thank you. Do we have a second? I will second those.
That was the one I wasn't at.
That is the one
Yes.
you weren't at, so that's
So it'd
good.
have to be me then.
Yes, it would have to be me, and I had no changes. David,
I
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
David, aye.
And Judy, aye. Those are approved, and we have one abstention due to absence from the meeting. Okay, thank you, Ben. And David. Next on our list, we have a manifest.
I'll move it.
Okay. I will second it, and the manifest amount is $71,142.36. Did you have a chance to look at it?
Yeah,
Okay.
looked fine.
All those in favor say aye,
David, aye.
and Judy, aye.
Judy, could you mention the number again?
I sure
please?
can. $71,142.36.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, Dina, opening bids
Yes.
for the roadside mowing, painting,
Here we go.
sand and gravel, and more mowing.
Let's do the painting.
Should we have a snare drum when we do this?
Well, if we had more than one bid for each thing, that'd be great, but it's
More
not too
dramatic?
exciting. Well, the gravel and sand, you have 2, 3, 4, I think.
So we've
This is
got
the painting.
painting, okay,
We'll do that first, cause Scott's not here and he's coming.
okay. Painting,
Okay, so, you have a bid from John Hodge. It's JH Painting. And for the Lyme Center Academy building,
oh,
this does not include any damaged or, rotten clapboards or any other additional work they
This is-
may find. So this is scraping and painting,
okay.
$25,000. Wow. And the Pike House, same things,
Okay.
10,500.
I was just gonna ask if we were gonna do something about the peel and paint on that. Nice to
Ian's way ahead of you.
I try to be,
Okay,
so, given it's the only one,
and I think we do need to get those particular structures painted to preserve them.
right, and this person is experienced, has 2 or 3 other, 1099 workers that work with him, so they have their own insurance and their own everything. They've done a few local churches, if you wanna look at their job schedule, Center Church is one of them.
Did they do the one here in town?
No, they've done a bunch of work for, Ray Clark. But anyways,
Okay.
they're not a fly-by-night, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And they're known to people around here.
They're experienced, okay.
Yes.
All right, what do we wish to do with the painting?
Given that we only got one bid, I would move that we accept that.
Okay, David, thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ben. All those in favor, say aye.
Then
David, aye.
Judy, aye. Okay, they have the contract. Next,
Good, okay, so let's do the mowing, but this is the, cemetery and regular
the
mowing,
regular
not the
mowing.
roadside mowing,
Right.
this is the regular mowing. And again, we only got one,
okay.
same as last year.
same as last year, that's right.
I'll bet it's the same company.
We should be doing a longer contract. It is the same company, yes, it
Okay.
is.
So this does the green, the common, around here,
Every building that we own, Lyme Center, out at the ball field.
Right.
All the cemeteries,
And he has a history of doing a good job.
yes, and if you ask the cemetery trustees, they will say, please, please, please hire him. Because they haven't had any trouble with damages in the, cemetery and all that, so.
and so that
And
number
it's
is?
spring and fall cleanup also. $64,500.
How does that compare to the last year's number?
I knew you were gonna ask me that, and I didn't bring that in with me. I don't know what percentage, let me look.
Rich?
For those of us that weren't paying attention last year, what company is this?
Lyme Lawn Care.
Lyme Lawn Care.
Uh-huh. Does anybody have a town report?
You know, I've stopped bringing mine because it just makes my bag so heavy, but,
I should have looked, I should have been way ahead. All right, so let me just figure this out real quick. Because it's split between cemetery and parks.
and then you know what I'm going to do?
What are you gonna do? Parks.
I'm going to hold off on the other bids
Okay,
unless you care to go through them all. And we will just have a quick discussion about the utility club and then you don't
Okay.
need to sit. Do you mind, Scott, if we?
No.
Okay, and then we'll pop up to,
I'm Nora Gould.
I should have.
you have all the stuff in your packet that they sent.
Yep,
But
let's just finish
if you
this
want
one.
this, then you can,
Yep,
you wanna finish this bid or no?
yep, this bid,
Oh,
let's,
okay.
let's finish this bid.
Okay,
And
so,
we'll pop over.
oh my goodness, hang on. Thought you were moving.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I was not clear.
My brain works, not that great. An increase of 4,600. So,
Over the total, and the total amount is,
64,500,
So last year would have been,
59,850.
so that's about a 6%
It's
increase.
about, I was just gonna say 5.7. Given gas, given repairs, material parts, all that,
Oh, I take it the
I
gas
think it's
prices.
probably
okay,
comparable.
what do we wish to do?
I'll move that we accept it. We only have one bid, so it's
Yeah.
either that or,
I second, he's done a good job.
yeah,
Thank you, all those in favor say aye,
Dave and I.
And I,
and Judy aye, okay, that is approved. And now we are gonna jump to the CCL sponsoring a utility club / parish nurse health event. 24 weeks, free of Better Balance Workshop, how do you say that? How do you say the type of,
I think it's I say taekwondo, although I think I'm wrong.
Yeah,
okay,
no, I think you're right.
It's a program that they've been using at the hospital, and it's evidence-based. As you can see, we're asking to use the academy building, that large room upstairs, in order to give a balance class for 15 people. We have two trainers, Lynn McCrae and Martha Usler from Orford, and we paid for those to be trained. They're ready to go. It's not utility club, it's the parish nurse program, and we're co-sponsoring with CCL and the library, actually. We've been using the library for our introductory meetings. We're asking you to waive the cost, which I think would come to about $1,600,
for
if my
24
math
weeks?
is in the right ballpark. We are paying the trainers with the money that we will get from the hospital, and that will be about $2,600. So in order to pay for the academy building, I would have to take money from the parish nurse fund, and I do the fundraising for that, which is kind of why I'm here. And my husband has very poor balance, which is the other reason I'm here. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I think it's going to be an effective program. when I lived at Kendall, I did a balance class. It was 6 weeks. It kind of helped, but it didn't help my husband at all, who's older than I am. And this program, because it will run from January to the end of June, twice a week, I think that we really can turn the way the brain and the legs and arms work, essentially.
And will this, will it be the same 15 people for the 24 weeks?
Yes,
So people will pre-register and,
yes, we're going to have a pre-registration meeting at the library on November 12th. We already have quite a few people signed up. I wish we could take more, but we can't with the space. They need to use chairs, and by the time you get them all organized, it will fill in that space, frankly.
right, so you wouldn't have 2 sessions, you have one
Right.
24-week session.
And then, hopefully we can continue to offer that to the town. And it will be free to the people
So
who
you
come,
could do a second section over
Yeah.
the summer. and
hopefully in the fall.
Okay. Ben, do you have any questions?
I move it, I think it's a good idea.
Can I just make one note?
I do have some questions, actually.
Yes.
The first thing that that comes to my mind is not the cost of the building, but rather the potential liability to the town if somebody were to be injured. Anytime you do something like that, you can have problems, somebody could fall, who knows? So, do you know anything, are you in a position to talk to us at all about how the insurance coverage is for this program, or
The
what
reason-
we're doing to address
The reason that I've
liability?
asked CCL to co-sponsor with us is in order to take advantage of their insurance. And that is part of the packet that I gave you.
Yeah, the instructors themselves have insurance though, don't they?
I can't answer that. One is a PT and one is a nurse. I can get back to you. Because I know that our parish nurses are insured through the church. I'll have to get back to you, I don't have the answer for that.
And I have a further question if David is finished. Mud season,
Yes,
typically we don't have events there during mud
I
season.
know.
Okay.
I live just across from there, but, and I go to yoga there. So I know that we will have to deal with mud season. The one alternative, or is one alternative during mud season to park down in the Baptist church parking lot and walk up.
You'd have to ask the Baptist church that,
Okay.
right?
I would think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Although that,
walking across the parking lot, yeah.
that's kind of a walk, it's a hike.
Yeah, I'm thinking with, I'm offering this to people. who
Maybe
may not
the-
want that walk.
One of the churches where you can, I don't know,
Yeah.
have community rooms. Okay, let me open it up to, do you have further questions, David? I didn't mean to jump in.
No, that's fine. I mostly want to just make sure that liabilities concerns are addressed, so that, we have either our insurance person or counsel look at whatever is put in place to make sure that there's not, if somebody were to be badly injured and there was, they want to file a lawsuit, that the town is covered.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
so that, and then the mud season. And Phil, questions?
No.
Rich? Yes, sir?
One other point, we recently amended our rental agreement for the CCL, for that building, so that it includes,
It's only for their office, that's the only place they rent. Any other part of the building they use additional, they have to do the same thing, fill out a form and ask to use it.
okay, but my concern is we added that provision that says, if you notice something wrong with the building while you're using it, you have to tell us about it, or otherwise you're on the hook for whatever damages will result. Even if we're waiving the rent, I would like to see that provision, we should have a rental agreement that says you don't have to pay any rent, but you still agree to abide by these terms, and that should be one of them.
We can put it on the
So the-
actual application.
In other
We had a
words-
problem with the building where somebody used the building, they noticed that the toilet was leaking, so they threw a bucket under it and then never told anybody. And so naturally, the bucket overflowed and resulted in several $1,000s of damage, which irritated the bejesus out of us. And so we added a provision to our agreement that says, look, you have to be a good steward of the building while you're using it. If you notice a problem, you don't have to fix it, but you have to tell us so that we can send somebody out there to make sure and if you don't do that and then there's a damage that results, you're on the hook for it. So that's what I was talking about.
I will be attending all the sessions, and I'll take on that responsibility. I just notify you, Dina, is that how?
Yeah,
it
we,
works?
the provision actually has contact
Yeah.
information and everything in it, so it makes it easy.
So I'll add that to it. The only thing I
That'll
wanted
have
to
the SOP.
comment on was that in your application, you say that 8 weeks.
Oh.
People can only rent up
For
to
8
8
weeks.
weeks.
So 3 8-week
Because then
sessions?
it leaves time, but
It's
you
24.
can make a special exception for this. I just wanna make sure. The yoga lady goes by the 8 weeks, so I don't
And
wanna,
your time will need to be,
24 weeks.
and coordinated with the yoga lady, so that,
Yes,
well,
I
she does
know
the yoga,
that
so I
I'm
assumed
sure
she
you're
thought, but she
on
knew
the-
when it was.
okay,
yes, we plan to do it Tuesdays and Fridays.
okay,
I've run that through
very good.
all the parties.
Michael, did you have something on this subject?
Nope.
Okay,
I've seen my wife getting the training, and I'm looking forward to this. I think
excellent.
it'll be good for seniors.
Okay, so Ben has moved this, we've had
I'll second
further
it.
discussion, okay? And there are a couple provisos to the approval, one that we clear up the insurance question, and we find out what we're gonna do with mud season,
Okay.
okay? And get back to the board with that. Dina, you might wanna note that the application itself might wanna be updated a little bit. It has Chief O'Keefe here. I don't think he's
Oh.
gonna want
I'm pretty
notification.
sure Jordan's listening, she's probably gonna jump right onto that.
Excellent. Okay, all those, now you have a question or comment.
Yeah, first off, I strongly support this. And I'm actually curious, what's the problem in mud season? Is it that the grounds get
It's muddy.
muddy and,
Very muddy,
And it's a
very
steep
stucky,
driveway.
and then we have to grade and gravel and do it.
so it tears up the ground?
And it
Here's-
tracks into the building too.
Well, I knew that was gonna happen, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay. All right, thank
So,
you.
It's just been practice to not use it during that time. 20 cars, 10 cars can really make a mess. And poor Scott has extra work to do and maybe has to pull some cars out. So it's not a good thing. All right, all those in favor with the provisos, say aye,
David,
and Judy, aye.
and thank you for doing this. It's a
Yes.
nice thing to offer to the community,
you.
and obviously so Laura, so.
Everything is local, and when you watch your husband fall a few times, you decide you better do something about it.
Yep,
I just always feel that people come in here and we give them a hard time about all the stuff we're worried about, and we never say thank you.
You're welcome.
okay. Now,
Excellent,
that is good, thank you very much.
yes.
Let's move back to our bids, which we've done the regular mowing, the regular painting. So what's up now is sand and gravel and roadside mowing.
Yep,
And we have Scott here for that.
let's do roadside mowing, cause there's only one,
Okay.
once again. Okay, roadside mowing, 28,620. And it's J.A. Mitchell Contracting.
So what does that include?
15 feet wide where they can go and 15 feet high.
So presumably, almost all the roads in town get mowed on the edge?
They will, yes.
And you didn't do it in,
I didn't do it this
This
past
year,
year.
so
We
it-
did it the year before.
needs it really bad.
I
And
think
then,
the year before it was like 24,000.
Yeah,
yeah, because I think it
almost
hadn't
25, yeah.
been done
Yeah.
for several years at that point.
Right.
So
I
presumably,
guess that number was
About 2,500, 25,000.
about the same.
No, it's 28,600 right now, that's his bid.
28.6, so
So
24.
But it's up, but again, material,
Everything's
gas,
up.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
fine.
equipment.
And this is the right time of the year to get this done, so presumably, hopefully, some of that, whatever that thing is that grows like
Yeah.
crazy.
I think we put a timeline in there, I'm not sure.
We said it had to be done before a certain time. You didn't put anything in there, but yeah.
He usually does, well, last time he did us, when he got down in the state of Vermont,
Right.
Okay,
so.
well, I think we need to have it done.
I'll move it.
Thank you, Ben. Rich?
Scott, you said it's 15 feet wide and 15 tall, so is that to flatten it and then also take any
Yeah.
trees on the side?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's just, it's mostly brush,
Yeah, just moving stuff back.
correct.
Yeah, okay.
I do have a question. We're asking in general from the budget committee for people to not raise budgets by more than the CPI, and that's the general guideline. And we're paying vendors 6% increases when the CPI is roughly 3%. Is there any negotiation room here, or are we just stuck with the bids that we're given? I mean, I don't have any problem paying vendors, you know, the rate of inflation. If it was good enough last year and we add the rate of inflation to that, I don't know why that isn't good enough this year.
We have at times tried to renegotiate bids, but usually when we get only one bid, if you push a little bit, they just say, fine, we've got other jobs.
Plus, I'd really like to say here, the CPI is not based off, it's based off gas, food, and, you know, wages. It's not, it's not mechanical equipment and fire trucks and big tractors and
Okay.
all that stuff, so there's a difference there.
So there's some other index that would make sense.
Yeah, there's other things that add
Well,
on,
they
but
can have
also,
repair problems, you know, I got tractors, I can't tell you, they're not
yeah,
reliably
right,
consistent.
right.
Yeah, well, Dina and I have gone over the cost of repairing some of the heavy equipment recently.
Yeah,
You
well,
can't- yeah,
So just
It
for
is what it
reference,
is.
On the
this
scale
increase
of
is about a
terrifying
12%
to-
increase over the prior,
2 years.
so it's 2 years,
Right,
so
it's
it
2
would be
years, so it's
6% a year.
6, right, I was just doing that, thank you for doing that. So yeah, but it's a 2-year increase.
So is your sense, Scotty, that that's sort of in line with what you're seeing for this kind of work in that universe?
I
Or don't
think
know?
Dana remembers I told her 28,000, but,
He did, that's what he was
I
guessing.
mean, that everything's been going up. I mean,
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm sure the sand and gravel's gone up 6% from last year, I'm sure.
We also should, because we haven't really gotten into working the budget, there is a New England CPI, and it's sometimes a little higher than the general CPI, and it does spell out what's not included, and there's always, whether it's housing or there's some thing that's pretty expensive that isn't in the New England.
I thought you were gonna say it's like a regular CPI, but just grumpier.
Well, I think a good example is when Aaron came in here and said, the fire trucks that they're building, you know, which you're building a big truck out of metal and welding and all that stuff, is like a 12% increase.
Yeah,
So culverts,
Oh, yeah.
10% increase.
Construction costs are
so-
really high.
It's different, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and we need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, David. And if you don't have further comment, I'll call for a vote.
And I,
David, I,
And Judy, aye. Okay, we approve that.
you like this guy, right?
Yeah, he does a good job.
Okay.
They bring in 3 tractors,
Mhm.
it's quick.
Yeah,
And he also notes in here, he can reach up higher than 15 feet if you want him to,
Right.
so I just saw that.
I mean, where they can't, they make it up other places, so.
so they seem like they're fair, they're
They are,
conscientious.
and they're quick, so.
Yep. Okay, that leaves sand and gravel, the big one.
Okey dokey. Twin State.
Okay,
This is the one I
We
think.
also just have one bid for this?
No, you have 3. Woo. Now we'll
That's
see
been a
if they
Wouldn't
all
bank
bid them
on
in the
two of
same.
them.
yeah, the
amounts.
same.
I hate that, they do tons instead of yards, and
Dina, say their name again?
this
Twin,
is
Twin State.
Twin State
Okay,
Sand
thanks.
and Gravel. Crushed. Crushed for them to pick up is 2303 a cubic yard. Delivered 3676. Hard pack is 1845. Should I be doing these by tons or cubic yards?
Cubic yards.
Right, okay. 1845 and delivered 3218. And winter sand is 2273 and delivered 3646.
we're probably gonna modify that quite a bit, have it for education. Going in.
Michael and Ben, excuse me, can we have that conversation a little later? Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you wanna stop?
Do you want us to stop, Michael? Gone,
Did he leave? Okay.
okay,
Pike,
thank you.
gravel. Okay, this is, sorry, I just have to look at this because it's got all kinds of. Okay, gravel is, they just did it by the ton,
Okay,
so we would have to recalculate it, but by the ton, it's $15 a ton for gravel, $11.95 for hard pack, and $12.95 for winter sand.
is winter sand different than regular sand?
There's no trucking involved in that.
Right, and there's no trucking, right, well, this one has the, for you to pick up. And then I did
Right, but I mean, on
delivery in
pikes.
this, but this is not, yeah, there's no delivery on this. Delivery, let's see, stockpiles would be an additional $8.65 a ton.
Look, we're not gonna be able to vote on this.
No, you aren't.
We're gonna have to open the bids and then have Scotty study them and
Right.
come back to us with a recommendation and
Okay.
an analysis, don't you think?
So I'll just whip right through it, yes, you're right.
If Michael is coming back in, we
Thank
can
you,
stop and he can raise his questions, if that's
Yeah.
important.
He comes in, sure.
I think he said he had a school board meeting or something that he had to go to, or I don't know, so.
Okay, during the day, well, I don't know.
Maybe not.
Do you want me to just say these real quick?
Yeah,
Winter sand, pickup $9.20. Delivered $16.55. Crushed gravel, $14.95. Picked up, delivered $22.98.
all right, I'll move that we have Scotty look at these bids and do some analysis and get back to us with his thoughts and recommendations.
I'll second that.
Who's the third company, if you don't mind?
Chief,
Chief.
yeah, it's called Chief Crushing and Excavation.
And I,
David, I.
Judy, you're up. Thank you for coming back.
I have to be at the Fairleigh School at 11:30, not 11, so I
Oh.
can wait.
So you're okay, all right. Well, why don't we just jump to that, review and discuss the refuse control and wildlife protection ordinance, I presume by the, thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
That's why you're here, so have you, well, before you make your comment, I wanna just introduce this to say, David spent some time writing up a very informative piece that could go on the town website and go to the listserv for people with their questions and an introduction and responding to some of those questions. And at the same time, Ben and Dina had a conversation. And Ben, would you like to take the lead to introduce
I have
us?
to remember what I told Gina.
Can I, just before we even get into the substance, I wanna make a procedural point about this ordinance. A number of the comments that we got from people seemed to express the concern that they were being ambushed and that the select board was gonna pass this ordinance and, you know, outlaw their outside composting, and there was some, I think, alarm about that. And one of the reasons I wrote that email that we'll maybe send out is to explain to people that the select board wouldn't do that and couldn't legally do that in any event, that for an ordinance like that to be enacted, it'd have to pass at town meeting. And so the point of introducing the ordinance was just to prompt discussion and to get people thinking and talking about it. And the select board hasn't even made a decision about whether, all that the select board could do procedurally is recommend the ordinance at town meeting. And we haven't even decided to do that yet, so, and we need 2 public hearings before we decide
Before
to
we
do
even
that.
do that.
We haven't had any of those hearings yet, so anybody who's feeling ordinance or feeling ambushed shouldn't.
Okay, and Ben,
Basically, you know, the composting doesn't appear to be a problem in town. Education is probably the route we should take. Right now, there's not gonna be any bear problems until next spring, May or June. The concerns are the commercial dumpsters, in which case, there are other avenues for addressing those. Even to the extent of, you know, the Kill 'em Bear Center did one time put a bear-proof dumpster at one of the businesses. Then a vendor came without bear-proof dumpsters, and I guess they may have them now as an option, so we'll look into that.
I had a talk with Sandra about this, so to put the potato on the fork here, Casella's is a big international, or a national company that provides refuse removal. They're a bit more expensive, we're told, several $100s a month more expensive for commercial refuse removal. That's what the gentleman from the Lyme Inn suggested. They have bear-proof dumpsters. The other option that people are using that's less expensive is also a local company, it's Floyd's out of Orford. And they're a little bit less money, which is meaningful to some of our local businesses. But they haven't so far offered a bear-proof dumpster. Essentially, I think what they need is a metal lid that can latch. I had a conversation with Sandra at Floyd's last week and told her what we've been thinking about and talking about, and what she said was, she thinks there are probably 6 dumpsters in the town of Lyme where bear intrusion is an issue, and she was gonna go and get a price for us and see what it would cost to get bear-proof dumpsters that her company could service for those locations and get back to me. And unfortunately, I missed her yesterday, but I'll report back when I hear from her. So I think maybe.
The issue with Casella was that, you know, you paid a one-time fee to get the bear-proof dumpster there, then there was a $50 charge throughout the year. You're only dealing with like 3 months of possible problems. So if we could get a situation that the cost of if Sandra came up with a solution that was a one and done and didn't have these extra costs all over the place, it'd be something that we could raise money for, or
I also kind of don't like, I don't know, it's nice to not discourage people from using a local business.
Right.
You know, so, at least I think.
Okay, Michael, you've been patient.
This can wait till we have serious discussion.
Okay, okay, very good.
But Ben, just to point out, you were
what else I'd say?
enthused about, getting information out to people,
Education.
to educate them on
Yeah.
what they could do.
Dina found Fish and Game has Bear Wise, Bear Smart,
Yep,
and that'll be on the,
it's on the web now.
It's on the web
Yeah.
now. That advises people how to protect their livestock and keep bears out of the dumpsters and all that. It's all been done by Fish and Game. And, you know, it's not that complicated not to have bear problems. It's just, it's a matter of education and a willingness to do what, otherwise the bear's gonna teach you, I can guarantee you that. You know that, don't you?
I know that, yes.
And, you know, we have roughly 3/4 of to a bear per square mile in Lyme, which there's over 50 bears in town. And you know, there's a hunting season, which about 20% of the bears are taken every year,
Huh.
but there's also reproduction.
Very good. Thank you, Ben, and thank you, David, and I would advocate that we still put that informative piece that David wrote out, because it's also educational, and at the same time, make note that we've made the decision to put this in abeyance while we try and educate and,
So I'll maybe modify that email a little bit to reflect our subsequent conversations and then circulate it. I'll send it to Dina for us to sign off on.
Excuse
And
me.
then-
And remember,
Great.
the title is,
Excellent.
as,
I changed it to wildlife,
yeah, which is what it
Refuse
should be.
control.
refuse and wildlife.
and
yeah.
wildlife protection.
Not just bears.
Not just bears. Well, there's, you know, dumpsters bring everything from rats, raccoons,
Right.
all the way up through, and even raccoon rabies has been more prevalent in the state recently, so these are things that,
So did I understand you're gonna send a note out to the listserv to say this material's there? That sounds great.
It has been done, but we'll continue to do
Yep.
it.
Please,
The email that we're talking about, I mostly, the point I made earlier about people feeling ambushed, I mostly want people to understand
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not,
There's a process.
there's a process and that the town would have to vote on this, and the select board hasn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
decided to move forward. I'm sensitive to people feeling like, oh, the select board's gonna
Here they
do
go
something
again.
to us that we didn't.
right.
but it did generate a discussion.
Well, so that's kind of where I was going. I love that you're putting something out on the list to say, hey, we're thinking about this. And I guess I would encourage the select board to be even more proactive on other matters. I don't think we need a notification about the manifest or anything like that, but stuff like this.
Well, I don't know, Phil might disagree.
Well-
Well,
The reserve
don't
funds out
forget,
there.
the agenda always goes out, and
Well,
that gets
and-
put on the listserv
Yes.
with a link you just
Mhm,
tap, and
mhm.
it says everything.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
just to be a little grumpy old man for a second.
Sure,
Like,
David. Go ahead.
We put this stuff out, we put out the agenda, we have these meetings, and then we get people who come back just stomping mad.
Yes.
That like, why
Right.
didn't you tell me?
Right.
And it's like,
Because-
I'm sorry, give me your phone number, I'll call you and tell you what we're gonna, I mean, look, I completely get it. When I'm not on the select board, I won't be paying attention either. But I also won't be yelling at the selectmen because I wasn't paying attention.
Right, yep. Yes.
It's a tough spot.
It is, and, you know, in my long life of a little bit of customer service as other part of my job, it's like, people don't read,
Mhm.
people don't pay
They
attention.
don't listen.
And so, at least, if you've sent notes out to the list, and obviously the agenda's on the website, you send out the agenda, this is a fabulous addition to say, listen, this is something a little unusual, maybe you should read this. And there are still gonna be grumpy people, David, I totally take your case.
Well, the other thing is, it's, at least for me, it's very hard to predict what's gonna get people's back.
Sure is.
I get it wrong all the time, like I think things that seem obvious and
Completely
uncontroversial,
pro
and
forma,
then people
blah, blah.
come in here are very upset
Yep,
about them.
yep.
and
Yes.
I don't have a good sense of the zeitgeist of the town.
And-
I still have people coming to me regularly saying, why don't we know about this and why don't we know about that? And I want to reinforce what Rich said, that people seem to depend on the non-town listserv more than anything
Yes,
else,
they do.
right or wrong. This is the usage pattern. And Dina, I agree that it would be great if people were responsible enough to take all of the right steps that you and I might take, but people are not acting like that. So if we accommodate to that somehow and put up monthly highlights of what the select board is talking about, or highlights of issues that are coming up, maybe we can avoid some of the kerfuffles. And the kerfuffles also involve people who work for a living and have children. So they are, out flat, 40 to 60 hours a week in their job, running their kids to athletic programs. We have to find a way to ring a bell to say, this is up, pay attention to it. And I think we have to have more open communication to the listserv.
What is the legal deal with the listserv? Do you know?
Because
We
it's
have
not-
limitations, right?
We do, because it's not Lyme, it's not the town's.
And,
The
it's gonna be
select
a
board's
one-way
not the
conversation, we
authority.
can't respond on the listserv.
Right.
Right.
And a
Mhm.
lot of people don't understand that, and they take that as a negative when you don't respond to something.
Right.
So there's two sides, there's more than
Right.
two
It's
sides.
difficult
There's-
because
yeah.
I also have said to Dina on occasion, let's just
Send it out.
send it out. But you can't get into a discussion
It's
on
hard.
listserv. We have to
So
have
you
our
can-
discussions
You
here.
can pre-warn that. You can say, that the select board is not allowed to engage in discussions about this, but we want to keep the public informed about things that are likely to go on. If you want official information, come to the select board meeting, talk to one of us. We can have a stock paragraph that lets people know, but, here's the top 5, news items, here's the top 5 things coming up on the select board.
Yeah, well, I'm in sympathy with it. What I would like to have is what is it that they have in the government, the press person who sends out the
Where's your
releases.
marketing department?
Yes, but, it's, we saw it with the budget committee, and I've sat on the budget committee for years and years and years, and it's so frustrating. You have the building the budget, discussing the budget, voting on the budget by the budget committee, then you have 2 public hearings, same 2 or 4 people come, and then traditionally, we've had little town meeting, which is another discussion, and then you go to town meeting, and half of the people there have no clue about any of it, and they pay no attention. And I understand, I'm busy, I worked 60 to 80 hours a week when I was working, and it's very hard, but it's also very frustrating. So for
Yeah.
the budget committee, we can send out a note saying, okay, Wednesday night, this is the night, come. You still get the same 2 or 3 people.
Yep.
It's really
School-
tough.
School board's the same way too.
Yep, yep, and I'm involved in a lot of stuff, and I don't go to the school board meetings. And it's, I care,
To go to all of them would be a full-time job.
you bet. With very little sleep. Anyway, those are really great suggestions. If there was a way we could do it, we can put some thought into it, we can make an attempt, maybe on 1 or 2 articles, just to say, you guys might wanna pay attention to this, here's what we're looking at. I just don't know.
Mhm.
And I'm sympathetic to what David said, which is nobody pays attention till their ox is gored. You know,
Yeah, it's kind of true.
but I also think that you can circumvent some things by setting an overarching theme. We're gonna send out a notice every 2 weeks about,
Yeah,
highlights.
Or you just stepped into a hornet's nest.
yeah.
What's that?
I said, or you just stepped into a hornet's nest.
Yeah, right.
Michael,
It's also possible for
I have been a
supporters of
lightning rod at
things.
various times in my life.
yes.
I would be happy to put something on the listserv about the ordinance and say that I am really supportive of small backyard composting.
That,
And
yep.
I think we're supportive of that, you know,
Of course.
I don't see any issues with that, it hasn't been a problem. People seem to be very aware of what you can and can't do in those composters.
Yeah, and that's the same issue, because if you do it right, you don't have a problem, and if you get sloppy about it, or lazy, then you have a problem there, but,
I've answered those questions for years, people calling about when they do have a problem with their, you know, tuck stuff under, it's all about smell. And either you're putting something over the top to contain the smell, or you can put the new stuff under the old stuff, so you don't have smell. And
Great.
most people who have them learn, because as I say, bears and other creatures teach you.
right. Okay, if we
Thank
can,
you,
let's
yes.
move along. Update on Route 10 crosswalk. Dina,
I know, it's so exciting. I still don't have a confirmed date yet. But what?
Wait, so we're talking about not the lighted sign
just the paint.
crosswalk, just
Just
painting.
painting the crosswalk. What, were you excited for a minute there, or what?
Well, also, I wanna make sure that if I don't wanna spend time and money painting the crosswalk and then put the lighted sign in and find that we have to redo it.
I don't think.
Oh, no,
we
that
will.
wouldn't affect it at all.
Okay.
You still could, you know, the
The
painting.
paint doesn't change
No.
when you put the lights?
No.
No, there's a
no.
specific place where people are supposed to cross,
Okay,
and that
Right.
includes any
sorry to
person
interrupt.
No,
going
that's
across
okay.
Route 10.
No,
in
that's a
that
good
location.
point.
Go ahead.
So, L&D Safety Marking Corporation is the company that is, coming our way. Like I said, I don't have an exact date, but within the next 2 weeks, to paint the side crossing, 2 lines and then stripes across, $2,380.
Okay,
It's a deal.
We need
and we should probably make a motion
I'll
on
move that we accept that.
I'll second.
that. All those in favor, say aye.
David and I.
Judy, aye.
And Dina, we got some references or something from these guys, so we know that they're not.
Yes.
And this is their business.
Yes, well, they've done some stuff before, I think they were the ones that did the fire station.
Good.
But they've done some other stuff.
Since Route 10 is a state road, can the town
We have to.
do it?
Yeah.
The state has dumped all the crosswalks all along their state roads in the state of New Hampshire to the individual towns. It's their
Well, as-
responsibility.
We have 2 crossing guards here.
Yeah.
And it will be appreciated,
It will be helpful.
for sure.
And just for further update, talk about ruckus. The board did vote
And since we have some money, we're gonna do it.
to, when we get money, to put in the flashing
Mhm.
sign. So, that has not been widely publicized either, although I have mentioned it to people when they've asked me, and it was an affirmative vote, unanimous. So at some point, that sign will go in, and I believe, again, the infrastructure is already in. So it shouldn't be a horrible big deal. we will have people unhappy with it, but.
Well,
A few.
it's amazing, because they're everywhere in the Upper Valley now, and they're innocuous, you don't even notice. To
Yeah.
think that it would cause an uproar is beyond me, but, and it would, 2 weeks later, it won't even be noticed.
When we had public hearings about this, what we got was 5 or 6 people whose houses are right there
Yeah,
who were opposed, and I
But they're
understand
not
that.
even that,
I mean, they're fearful that they're gonna be sitting, having dinner and have their curtains flashing orange. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but you only,
well,
Time will tell.
I lived in the Bronx and New York, and buildings would burn down across the street from me, and I wouldn't wake up or notice it. I mean, you get used
glad
to
you're
what's
not
going
on
on.
the fire department.
Yeah, and there are lots of choices in Lyme, there's a benefit to living right on the common, you have stuff all within walking distance, but, it's not realistic to think that there aren't some costs associated with that too.
But also remember, the company that provides this sign has a shield that they can put up, so if there's, say, a house right across the road,
Mhm.
that they're afraid it's gonna shine in their house, there's a shield that can kinda go on that side of it, so it doesn't affect what you see from the road, but it prevents it from going into the house.
And the older I get, the safer I feel when I go through Dartmouth particularly.
Yes,
And their signs are there, because those kids go every which way
I
without,
love them whooping the wrong way down the road on their scooters.
with
While
no-
reading
with-
while looking at their
Yeah.
phone with
No,
no.
with no lights on the scooter.
And if from someone who hit one, let me tell you,
Oh, that would be
yeah, it was
fun.
awful.
Okay, moving right along, intent to cut,
Okay, so here's one of my big blunders.
yes?
They're not intent to cuts,
They're
their report of wood cut.
Ah,
So anyways, the first one is Downs,
mm-hmm,
and it's $1,797.68.
That's our take?
Yes. Wow. That's 10% of the cut, the value of the cut.
God, that seems like a lot, doesn't it?
It's a lot of wood.
No, but I mean, to take 10%.
Well, everybody complains about current use, but they don't think about the fact that as soon as you cut a tree, you're gonna pay 10% of your revenue towards it.
And
Well, we
isn't there a
don't
de
get it.
minimis limit, like if I cut down one tree in front of my house, I don't have to do this, right? Or is it
You've
for
got
everything?
10 cords that you don't have to pay for.
Well, if you're gonna use the 10 cords yourself, you don't have to pay for it. If you're gonna mill some up to use for yourself, you don't have to pay timber a certain amount. If you're cutting a tree that's gonna fall on your house or across your driveway, you don't.
What about if you're
Generally.
building and you're clearing some trees for that?
Oh,
You're-
yes,
You're
yeah.
okay? Or you have to do that?
No, you have to do
if
this.
you're clearing, yeah.
Such
Yeah.
a scofflaw.
Well, we don't get any land change tax money anymore, so this is, just a little extra for us.
Okay, and the next one is
Okay.
a report of woodcut,
Yes.
Wilkes McClave on the Northern River Road.
Right,
Yeah.
$92.28.
He saw it as wood himself.
Most of the,
228.
I think most of it was in Orford, actually. This was kind
Oh,
of a
this
split
was
cut.
the-
Some was in
up
Orford,
at-
some was in
yep.
Lyme. Mhm.
I will, well, we're gonna sign those. Do we need to
I'll
vote
move
on
them.
those? All right, thank you,
I'll
David.
second,
Thank you, Ben. All those in favor say aye.
then I.
David, I.
Judy, aye. That's approved.
And I have an intent sitting here, but I didn't have it before. I don't know if you wanna address it or not.
Let's push it off.
Yeah, it doesn't even have, never mind.
What is it?
It's for Jeannie McIntyre, but there's nothing even written in here.
Oh, then they better fill it
Can we
out.
better
Yeah.
follow up? You okay, David? Okay.
Sore.
Let's see, report of woodcuts.
Okay. We already did Okay, so it looks like we have 1, 2, maybe 3 more items. Moving right along.
Mhm. Well, I don't really have a big budget review for you, cause we're
Good.
not really gonna talk about that, but, or we were gonna talk about one budget.
Okay, just making a few notes. Oh, and this one, when he comes back.
Yes,
We did this, we did
yeah, I'll
this.
give it to Ben, cause he can.
Okay, so when he comes back, we are going to be talking about the regional director for the Coalition Against Bigger Trucks, CABT, a nonprofit coalition of local government, law enforcement, public works, and fire and EMS officials that oppose legislation to increase commercial truck size and weight on local streets and roads. So think about how you feel about that.
Somebody was coming to explain that to us. There's,
You want somebody to come explain it
no, I
to you?
thought that,
Oh,
I think we said that we thought we could,
she just emailed it to me and I sent it on to you guys.
Yeah.
I don't,
let's see, Congress is putting together a new infrastructure bill this fall to fund roads and bridges across the country. New Hampshire Rep. Pappas serves on the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. There is a chance that House Resolution 3372 would create a so-called pilot project that would allow any state to increase truck weights from 80,000 pounds to 91,000 pounds for up to 10 years on its interstates. That could be added to this House resolution.
on the interstate, or, that's it, I didn't hear you.
On the interstates,
On the interstates.
but it also mentions local streets and roads. So
Well, there's
the,
weight limits on a lot of our bridges.
well, but it sounds like you might wanna find out whether this,
Are there any
Sort of
interstates
says
that run through
tough.
Lyme anywhere?
no, but if it's gonna affect your local roads and,
yeah, so what she would like to do is either Zoom with us or, and the alternative, ask us to send letters or make a call to our representative Pappas. I think we maybe should find out a little bit more about the bill before we do that. But, I for one notice even on the interstates, the heavy trucking is breaking them up a lot faster than it used to. And the heavy trucking and then the heavy snow plows and then
Well,
the number
I
of
think
trucks.
if the spill off is on the local bridges,
Yeah.
those all have weight limits on them and.
They
so,
gotta get off the interstate at some place.
yeah, but if they, even if they're weight limited, I don't know what this bill means, it could mean that they can still go.
Yeah, but you can't have that. I know when, I got sand and gravel. And the trucks weren't fully loaded, and I asked them, I said, well, we can't, because the bridges between here and there, we can't cross.
Right,
So,
well, good for them.
but if the bill overrides that,
Yeah.
Right.
it's not gonna be
And
good
I don't-
for any of us. We
I
have to
don't
pay
know.
for our bridges.
I don't know enough about it, so.
What's that Clint Eastwood line, "A man's got to know his limitations"? I kinda feel like we're into that territory when we have the town of Lyme Select Board weighing in on national transportation weight limits on highways and stuff. We don't have to
Personally, I'm in favor of
evaluate the pluses
deeper
and
truck
minuses.
routes on the interstate.
Yes, I know. What is that, where is the section? I think it's going north up to like Burlington, where there are huge deep grooves. It's really bad. Okay, you got this signed.
Oh, awesome.
Did you wanna mention this 535?
Well, you should mention, yeah, that you signed it. This is the auditor's report, the financial report of the budget through December 31st, 2024. And this is the DRA form, which, you know, includes everything. So that when you look at the highway numbers, they're not the numbers from our operating budget. It includes any block grant money, any regular grant money that we had, you know, so that, I guess what I'm saying is just, if you look at these numbers, they won't match up with my spreadsheet.
Yes, sir.
What's that report called?
The MS 535.
535, there we go.
Financial report of the budget.
And that runs, excuse me, that's through December 31st of last year.
2024.
24,
Okay.
correct.
Okay, so next up, we have set a date for a public hearing on the Code of Ethics ordinance and on the Veterans Credit. Let's start with the Veterans Credit. I think we all agreed when we were talking about this before that this is a fix that we need to take to town meeting so that people aren't shorted what's due to them. Does anybody want to discuss this further? Or should we just look at our calendars and try and set a date for a public hearing?
I just say that Sue McKenzie was very pleased that things were gonna be kept equal to what, you know, she as a long-term vet was used
Was
to having.
receiving, yep,
Yeah.
good.
So I picked out a day of February 3rd on the notes that I sent you guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Oh, Jordan, oh shoot, that agenda didn't get, okay, well, you guys got that agenda, but you didn't get it in your packet.
February 3rd,
Tuesday, February 3rd, it's a regular meeting of yours.
okay.
But it has to be, you know, within so many days of
Oh, the
the town meeting and all
and
that
that's
other
the
stuff. So
first public hearing.
that meets no, you already
No, that
had
we already
one,
had
this would be
one.
the second one. The
Okay.
second one has to be within so many days
Mhm.
of
Fine
the
with
town
me, you know,
meeting.
whatever. Although I don't have have that on my calendar yet.
You will though,
Yeah.
you will today,
Oh, you send me that thing?
you will have it
Oh,
today.
today, that's what you
Yes.
told me the other day.
I know, I've been busy, Ben.
Okay, so that's the veterans issue. And the next one, that was,
I
February.
think you'll do the veterans and you will do the code of ethics ordinance
And we,
at the same public hearing.
okay, and the code of ethics ordinance, so we had the first one.
Mhm.
So this is now public information,
Yes,
can be dispersed.
yep, it's on the
It's on the
website.
website now? Okay,
Yep.
also February
Yep.
3rd.
And unless there's a significant change in it, which there shouldn't be, yes, that would be considered your second public hearing, so then it could just go to town meeting on the warrant.
Veterans and ethics. Okay, I will move that both of the veterans credit change and the ethics and conflict of interest ordinance have their second public hearing on February 3rd and hopefully then to go to town meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you, David. All those in favor say aye.
Ben, I.
David, aye.
Judy, aye. So that is approved for February 3rd, which is our Tuesday regular meeting.
Mhm.
Okay. And that leaves us with just a few minutes, Dina, if you want to, we don't really have a budget review to present. We heard from Phil about the recommendation for a couple of the capital reserve funds. And 3.0, 2.9 seems to be floating around. I would say sometime between now and not tomorrow, but maybe the Wednesday after, if we get a final for September, we will have a discussion of what we're gonna recommend for pay.
Yeah, cause I can't do any of the payroll, your benefits came in, it's a 5.4% increase. 5.4%. the health insurance. So,
Well, so that actually, if I can digress momentarily, 5.4%, pretty much in line with the 6% that those couple of
yeah,
vendors were
Right.
quoting for their increase.
right, right,
It's always amazing to me that all these things increase at a certain amount in the
Right.
CPI or the COLA
right,
or somewhere else entirely.
I know. Well, I took that Northeastern CPI, August CPI, which was 2.9,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm calculating payroll at right now.
So our discussion will be, well, when we have it, do we wanna go with the 2.9, go with the 3.0? Some years we've gone with more. If we're gonna be putting a lot of funds into capital reserve funds, we're gonna have to be careful. Well, we have to be careful
Yeah.
every time, but, okay.
Yeah, so you'll have to, at your next meeting, save some time to
Start
maybe
building.
have that discussion about
Yep.
wages and stuff.
Anything else that we know of?
I have one more thing.
Okay,
Could somebody make a motion to appoint Matt Stevens and Stephen Alden as our perambulators?
oh,
Perambulators?
I don't know even what a perambulator is.
You gotta go
You-
walk
you
the town
walk the-
lines, show they're still there every
Right.
X number of years.
Every 7 years you have to do it.
Really?
And you have
Yeah.
two or three people from your town, 2 or 3 people from the other town, and you all walk and you remark the boundary lines. And if there's a dispute, you know,
Stop range wars.
there's a RSA and it tells you what you have to do to agree and all this stuff.
I will so move.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank
And
you,
we
Dave.
thank them, because this is a big job.
It is a big job.
It's a huge job.
Through
Is
the
it-
woods.
You walk
It's-
the perimeter of the town?
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're doing the Orford line,
Yeah,
so they're doing that, and that has some pretty rugged areas
There
in
would
it.
be, yeah.
All
Yeah, but
those,
for a young guy who hasn't been out there, it's a good experience.
Dick Jones used to do that all
He
the
did
time.
used to do it.
Right, well,
Can you tell me again who moved that?
I moved,
Okay.
David second, all those in favor say aye.
Then
David, I.
And we
Judy,
owe
aye.
them a thank you, thank you, thank you.
and
Yes.
who are the people we appointed, Dina?
Matt Stevens.
And
And
Steve Alden.
Stephen Alden.
I understand there's a similar deal with Vermont and New Hampshire, and it has devolved to the governors agreeing to meet on some bridge. They come, shake hands, say, good job, and then go off to the rest of their work.
Well, Vermont, New Hampshire should be pretty easy since I think it's the Connecticut River.
Right.
but-
The knee-high water mark on the opposite bank.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I think it's time for Ben.
I
time
think
to
it is
quit,
too.
I move we quit.
I'll second.
Thank you, David, all in favor?
David,
Aye.
Then I-
Very good.
11:15.
11:15, yes. Very good. I appreciate everyone's patience, attentiveness.
So
And-
your
I thought that was
Atlas
great.
Mill,